what the effects of teaching are, what can teaching do for a learner, and I'm about to tell him that the main thing about teaching is that it opens up a wider range of possibility of what's possible. You teach him about something in the past or the present, but you hope that your teaching will have the good effect of leading them into the world of possibility. That's where intelligence lies. And it's a risky kind of a business, because the fact of the matter is, when people tell you to ask you about teaching and you say it's about the future, they'll say, oh, but that's too speculative. But that's what teaching should be for, to get you speculating about possibility. We mostly, particularly in the Western world, we like people to stick to the factual, to what goes on now. And I say the main object of teaching and educating is get them to think and share their notions about where this leads, to go beyond the information given. One's titled a book or something like that, yeah. So comes the question, are there rules of education? Yeah, there are pretty general rules of computation, but they should be related to some general domain of knowing, knowledge, and that. It should not let you sit where you are. I keep using that expression, going beyond the information given. And that's what it's about. And eventually we teach in a fashion that leads the person himself to learn how to converse with others, to share with others in a way that opens the world. It's an opening type of operation. And that's one of the reasons why, if it's only about the past, as some rather old-fashioned historians used to think, it gets you nowhere, back to the past. And the way our schools developed in the old-fashioned way was to think that they were the repository of stored knowledge to pass on to new pupils. You can get that better out of a book in some respects, but it's the business of going beyond, thing like that. So I ask you, why are you doing this? What do you hope it will lead people who listen to get out of it? And I won't press you for an answer, because you're supposed to be interviewing me, not me interviewing you. But on the other hand, it's also impossible for somebody to interview somebody else without their interviewing them back. It's opening. Possibility. I keep coming back to that word, possibility, and with good reason. What is culture? Culture is a way of knowing, basically. It's a way of knowing that relates to the constraints imposed by a certain way of life. That is to say, we are both individuals and we live in a culture. And we somehow maintain our individuality and at the same time become New Yorkers or Americans or Russians and live that way. So it's a back and forth between the possible and the actual, and learning how to make that leap. Not only learning how, but learning that it's necessary to do it, to use your being to its fullest extent.